Hope you're blessed, happy, and well. Today, I wanted to walk you through how I made my ancestors' healing oil, which is a precursor to a series of 3 spells I'll be doing on healing mother-father wounds, healing, ancestral curses, breaking ancestral curses and bonds, as well as bringing in the showers of abundance from your ancestors into the present moment for you and your descendants. So this is kind of my step 1, and what the series of 3 spells coming up that I'll put in prior videos or future videos are going to do is to make sure that there is nothing in the way of my success. There's nothing from the past that is going to influence or really harm my present. And in a certain way, I kind of already believe it, because if you believe it, so it is. But these spells are just going to be almost like put the kibosh on any energy, any decisions that I may have made in the past, any ways that I in the past may have set myself up in the present for, hardships, challenges of any sort. These spells are going to blast through that. And it's also going to blast through the ways that our parental units, like the mother, the father, a lot of us are struggling with issues, toxicity, abuse from mothers and fathers in this lifetime and past lifetimes. And this ancestral healing oil is going to really help eliminate those triggers so that we can be free from any lingering inner child issues, and also make us, if we want to, for those of us who want to have children, better parents in the future. So this is the general setup, and the oil, my ancestors' healing oil, is just a beautiful blend. It is really simple to make. Again, I went off guidance from Spirit, and Spirit, told me that what I needed was frankincense, myrrh, and a carrier oil. And I will kind of walk you through that. I'll walk you through my process and the final result, and just kind of tell you about how it feels when I put it on. So essentially what I did is I got my apricot oil, my frankincense, and my myrrh, and I have a hammer here that I will be using and a piece of aluminum foil. So I start to pour my apricot oil first. I really feel like I have a deep connection with the oil because I just feel into its essence, and I just really it merges with me and I merges with it. So I feel like I understand the complexity of this oil and the properties that it brings forward. If you take a look at oils, there's maybe a grapeseed or an avocado, they're a little bit darker than this apricot oil here. This has a little bit of a color of Chardonnay. So it's just a light, airy, easy, breezy oil. Your carrier oil is extremely important. It's extremely important if you're making your own oils that you study the energetic properties of each item that you're using. You can do that by touching it, putting your hands on it, and just asking for the vibrations to come. And your mixture as well. I put my mixtures together intuitively. I don't do a lot of research from books. I do have some books here and there, but for the most part, my oils are just made from, divine flow and intuition, just telling me, and my own knowledge that I've acquired from past lifetimes as a master witch. So, for me, the apricot oil is the best oil that I could find from the oils that I know of that are easily available to me, that works with the energetic frequencies of the frankincense and the myrrh for the purposes of removing blockages and moving further into divine flow. I've been doing a lot of work on just clearing the path for me to additional abundance and happiness and all the good things for quite some time. So I didn't feel the need to use a very heavy oil. If you maybe are just getting started and you decide that you have just a lot of gunk, in the past, or a lot of, ancestral karma that you need to clear to help you today, because it's really just about you. It's not, I don't believe that it's our job to do our ancestors' work for them. They have their own stuff. It's really about just making sure that nothing that they did impacts you. So if you haven't really been doing that work, you're finding that there's just a lot of maybe family dynamics or patterns throughout generations that are just kind of mucky and just kind of heavy, maybe you could change to maybe an almond, but I am a big believer in the apricot for this particular time that we're in. it's so important that you pay attention to your oils and the way that it works with the herbs. It drives me nuts when I see people just dump herbs in any oil. That just drives me crazy. I mean, if you don't have any other options, then I applaud your resourcefulness. If you can, though, it's important to understand the properties of the oil, because that oil it's almost like your divine feminine essence. Like, that is the holder, that's the carrier that puts and helps allow for a greater energetic blend. Like, you want it to be a proper, hold for the energetic properties of the herbs. If you're not paying attention to that, you're going to end up with a weak oil. I also do not believe in blending oils either. I think it's very rare occasions where a blended oil, like in the same herbal mixture, would make sense. Like, I have yet to encounter that. I'm a big believer in 100% one type of oil, not vegetable oil, some other oil that is preferably natural or organic, because that does matter. Like, the purity of the product matters in the effectiveness overall. So this is my myrrh that I have here. I made the choice to get myrrh resin because I just don't trust the essential oils out there. I've tried to use several different ones, especially ones that were seed to seal, supposedly therapy grade, and I just found that they kind of shut down my spiritual abilities, so I don't trust them at all. If I find an essential oil that works, that's okay. But right now, I just use this regular resin, which I think worked amazing. And I'm using my hammer here to just bust up the myrrh into little bitty pieces. So it'll go from that big chunk that you saw to much smaller chunks. This is my frankincense, nice kind of lighter texture. It's interesting that we have that dark and light dichotomy between that frankincense and that myrrh. And I'm basically going to do that same thing that I did with my myrrh, which is just bust it up with the hammer. And as I begin to bust up that frankincense and that myrrh, they start to become extremely aromatic and in a really, really good way. So really, honestly, they smell better than the essential oils. I really love it. Okay, so here is how my oils and my frankincense and myrrh done when I do each of them separately. I have invoked and, put the essence of the ancestors as well as myself and my descendants into the oil. And you can kind of see how the frankincense and the myrrh look after it is kind of crushed up. The frankincense representing the divine masculine, the myrrh more of that divine. It's not just divine feminine, because the myrrh has masculine aspects as well, but I think the myrrh is more of that deep penetrating ancestral bond that links you to the one, to the all, and to yourself as well. But the frankincense really embodies that father energy. I was getting that download as I was crushing it. So I've asked the oil to magnify the properties of this frankincense and this myrrh. And if I smell it, it smells a little bit like Bethlehem, like it just has that energy to it. I put a ring of salt around this just to kind of purify, because I feel like oftentimes when I do an invocation or a spell, they need to marinate. So I like to just let it set for a while. So I'm going to put my frankincense and myrrh and my apricot oil, top it off, and then I will just let it kind of sit. And I might do another invocation. I don't know. It just kind of depends on what I feel like once I infuse them together. And then I'll just keep them in this ring of salt for a while. I've asked my ancestors to be here, keeping in mind that I am my own ancestors. I feel like a lot of people who say oh, I need to heal my ancestor line are really just saying that they need to heal a past life. Like, that is often the case, 9 times out of 10. It's you. It's like a different aspect of you that needs healing. And that's why you're so invested in wanting to heal the ancestors. Again, 9 times out of 10, that's usually kind of the download I get when people speak those things. But, if you're a little bit more connected to the one, maybe you are super interested in, every single ancestor that you've ever had. For me, I invoked my bloodline, my full bloodline, my past selves, every aspect of me that has ever lived, to come forward and put their energy as well into the oil, as well as my descendants, because it's for bloodline healing, but I'm going into the future as well. So it's me, me in the past, me in the future, and then, blessings for my children, and everything else. Okay, and this is how the oil looks after I put everything together and mix them together. They look super amazing, as you can see. I'm thrilled with how it came out. So I have 2 that I've made. I've tried one already, and I really love the energy as it comes into my hands. Like, I was kind of told to anoint my hands. And yeah, it just kind of reminded me of like the healing of the crucifixion wound, like the healing of the ancestral wounding. I just had a wave of love and calm wash over me, because sometimes I'm a little like anxiety prone, especially with my work. And I just had like a wave of calm, like the ancestors and my descendants and the past versions of me just giving me a really big hug. So it feels amazing. And I'm excited to use this in my spell work. So that is basically it. That is my oil. I hope you guys loved it as much as I did making it. If you liked this video, please drop a like. Please subscribe as well if you want more content. If you liked this video, let me know, and I can post more on this particular topic of like oils and things like that. If you're interested in purchasing an oil, I make extra batches. I know people have inquired about that, so let me know that as well. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, visit my blog, ariengabriella.com, and have a great day.